Happy New Year 2024. Well, maybe I should be wishing you all a most tragic old year 2024 if you're living under the city government of Los Angeles. Hear that? That's 5 months of next door construction by my neighbor with the ficus trees all day. Until recently, when the police arrived. But that's for later in this video. How are you, all my real friends? Number one, did I mention the gas lines and their meter only a few feet away? Number two, did I mention the electrical lines on the city sidewalk easement that my neighbor's ficus trees are growing into? Number three, did I mention the telephone lines on the same city sidewalk easement that my same neighbor's ficus trees are growing into? Number four, did I mention the water lines and their meter? Number five, did I mention the gas meter, the electric meter, and the water meter readers who have to do their jobs in this dangerous position? Number six, did I mention the Department of Water and Power, our neighbors Southern California Edison, and the telephone line technicians to also have to do their job in this dangerous position? Number seven, and oh, did I mention that these ficus trees are as toxic as hell, especially one kind, the rubber tree, because in many cases, if you get their sap on you, that you'll itch everywhere, or worse, should they burn, and they'll release toxic gases from their sap. Number eight, did I mention the fire department and our neighbors who have to endanger their lives, their children's lives, and their pets' lives because of the toxicity of these trees should a fire break out? Number nine, did I mention that the toxicity of these trees increases when they are planted outside and exposed to sunlight? Number 10, did I mention the many Southern California cities who have had to dig up and remove their ficus trees from their streets and sidewalks because these trees are ripping up and destroying said streets and sidewalks? Number 11, did I mention that one of Los Angeles's Bureaus of Street Services written objectives is to protect the public by also ripping up and destroying such ficus trees in similar situations? Number 12, did I mention the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy, and specifically their Mulholland Scenic Plan number 167943, Design and Preservation Guidelines, which the Bureau of Street Services, which handles such matters, never advocated as they were supposed to do? Number 13, did I mention that we never received copies of the property development plans submitted by my neighbor with the ficus trees next door for both my neighbor's housing developments, with their required updates and their required distances from his property lines to the Department of Building and Safety and other relevant departments for the required permits? Number 14, did I mention that both this neighbor's and his wife are especially wealthy with all kinds of legal connections? And when we called up his supervisors, they said that they couldn't even talk to him. Number 15, and did I mention that like those who received honorary doctorates and buildings and airports named after them, that my neighbor's husband and wife team, because of their financial as well as their legal status, are in the same position? That they could make sizable donations to those they care to donate to? Number 16, did I mention that copies of all the contractors' licenses involved were never given to us as both the Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety and the California Department of Consumer Affairs Contractors Licensing Board require? Number 17, did I mention that because we've never heard a word of English from any of the workers, and as you know, from all of the noise that we've heard everything from these workers for the last 5 months, that no government department has ever mentioned whether all of the neighbors' workers have had their Social Security numbers approved as required by law? Number 18, did I mention that there have been several instances of firemen walking up the street with a clear sight of my neighbor's property development and doing nothing? Number 19, did I mention the huge contractor's gravel truck with its large semi-external trailer 7 days ago tore off a huge section of our own hedges and, with the foreman's approval and decision, were left all in the street? Number 20, did I mention that our street, as well as our residential neighborhood, was not zoned for such huge, heavy, and commercial semi-tractor trailer flatbeds and gravel trucks and cement mixers? Number 21, did I mention that my neighbor's workers never even came to our door or even left a note as they were supposed to do after a traffic accident that you caused? Number 22, did I mention all the honking cars trying to get up and down the hill in the last 5 months because of these trucks? Number 23, did I mention that we only found out because my disabled mother, with her walker, went out to get the mail from our mailbox 50 feet from our front door near evening because I am crippled and even more crippled? And maybe the contractor's foreman was counting on how difficult it would be for either one of us to get to the mailbox. Number 24, did I mention that she did this while two of my neighbor's workmen looked on? Number 25, did I mention that she came back to our house to get my Apple iPad and to balance it on her walker while she returned out to the middle of the street to get photos of everything? Number 26, and did I mention that we had to clear these branches immediately because they were now lying in the middle of the street and would have caused many of my neighborhood's cars to hit all those branches while trying to park because night was coming on in an hour? And the neighbors, not knowing who really did this, would have sued us instead because these branches belong to our hedges and they were in front of our house? Number 27, did I mention the $200 that it took to get my gardener, hoping that he could come immediately to clear out these 10-foot branches before it turned into night in less than an hour? Number 28, did I mention that neither my neighbors nor his contractor offered to pay the $200 for my gardener charged me to clean up my neighbor's contractor's mess? Number 29, did I mention that my gardener cleared all of these 10-foot branches while the same two of my neighbor's workmen looked on? Number 30, did I mention that because of all of this, my gardener was now a witness to what my neighbor's workers and their foreman did? Number 31, did I mention that because of all of this, my postman was now a witness because he arrived to deliver the mail after much too long a day, right then? Number 32, did I mention that two police officers from the Los Angeles Police Department went over to my neighbor's house because my neighbor's foreman, having now gone most of the day, returned just then, directly in front of my neighbor's house with his personal pickup truck. Number 33, and oh, did I mention that my 87-year-old disabled mom went out again with her walker and my iPad, again balancing them, again in the middle of a dangerous street with assorted speeding cars to get up the hillside to take photos of all of this? Number 34, did I mention the warning the Los Angeles police officers gave my neighbor when they went to his door after we asked them from our 911 call, as well as the incidents report that we filed despite our crippledness, to stop all of these constant intrusions and harassment by my neighbor's workers and foremen. And maybe the contractor's foreman was counting that it would be too difficult for us to do this. Number 35, and did I mention how incredibly nice the 911 operator was? The two police officers who came in half an hour were, and their police contact who called us back for the report was. Number 36, and did I mention how one of the police officers said, very sadly and very compassionately, how when they went to my neighbor's door, how very frustrated my neighbor was over, he continued, the quote, delusionary old lady with absolutely nothing to do, unquote. And did I mention, number 37, did I mention how possible tickets were written by the officers to my neighbors without telling us for the $200? And that's now why he was incredibly frustrated when they went to his door. Number 38, and did I mention my neighbor's noise that had been going on for 5 months was now sporadic, a lot quieter, and only in front of my neighbor's house. And maybe the contractor's foreman was counting on that it would be too difficult for either one of us to stop this too. Number 39, did I mention that there was only the sound for the entire day of only one worker hammering, and then only for an hour? At 7 o'clock in the morning, the very next day, which was on Monday, January 15, 2023, and the truck accident with all-day commotions took place the day before on Sunday, January 14, 2023. 40, did I mention that my neighbor's tarp, which has been up for the last 5 months, again, maybe my contractor's foreman, etc., etc., etc. I always liked big round numbers, and 40, did I mentions, is a nice, really big round number. Well, as I said earlier, if you're living under what the Los Angeles city government will not do anything about, maybe I should have wished you all a very tragic old year, 2024. Please remember these 3 legal terms. In a court of law, fraud is the felony of stating that you will provide something, and in this case, both homeowner safety and neighborhood safety, and not providing it. Negligence, on the other hand, is the felony of that which is expected, is not up to expected standards, or especially the law. And conspiracy is the felony intent of either committing a crime or being aware that one is or will be committed and failing to do anything about it. To those who have watched this video, please call, email, or write your elected lawmakers before we're out on the street. And to our elected lawmakers, as I always say, please help us or cut the funding to the city government of Los Angeles for such fraud, negligence, and conspiracy. Thank you.